Hi guys, this is Ms. Hennebree and welcome to our video on multiplying and dividing decimals. Now remember, this is just review for you guys. You should know how to do this, just a little tutorial in case you need help. So let's go ahead and get started. So our first problem is 5 and 43/100 multiplied by 6 and 2/10. So remember, whenever you're multiplying decimals, really all you're doing is you're multiplying two whole numbers. So it's the same thing as multiplying 543 times 62, okay? So you're going to do the same thing. So we would do 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 4, 8, 2 times 5, 10. All right, so we multiplied by the 2. Then you're going to add your 0 for your placeholder. 6 times 3, 18, carry the 1. 6 times 4, 24, plus 1 is 25. And 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. So I'm hoping that you guys know how to multiply. So we go ahead and add 6, 16, 6, 3, and 3. Okay, so now when you're done, this is where the part comes that you might struggle with. You need to go back and you need to count how many places you have behind the decimals. So here you have 1, 2, 3. So that means you're going to start your decimal right here, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3. So your final answer would be 33.666. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And I'm going to do these fairly quick just so you can check, so do them along with me, okay? So we just multiply. Again, this is the same thing as 1008 multiplied by 875, if the decimals confuse you, okay? So 8 times 5 is 40. And again, I'm doing the multiplication fast because I expect that you guys know how to do that. 7 times 8 is, wow, I just had a brain fart, sorry guys, 56. Okay, and now we're on to the third digit, so that means I need 2 placeholders. Then we have 8 times 8 is 64. And I'm going to run out of room, sorry. Okay, and then we're just going to add 0, 10, 10, 12. Okay, so I end up with this huge number, $882,000, or not dollars, but the number. So you're going to count your decimal places. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I'm going to move my decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which brings it all the way over here. So the answer to my question would be 882 thousandths. Now remember, you have to look back at the problem and think about, does that make sense? You're taking a number right here, which is really close to 1 and 8 thousandths, and you're multiplying it by a number that's smaller than 1, so it makes sense that your answer is going to be smaller than what you started with, okay? So always make sure and check for reasonableness. All right, another one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I'm not going to talk. I just want you to follow along and check to see how you do, okay? Here we go. All right, you should have gotten 1,175 10,000ths. And again, you just have to look at your original problem and think about it. You started with a number that was pretty close to 3, but you multiplied it by a number that is well under 1. You're talking about 700ths. So of course that number is going to get smaller. Okay? All right, so now we're on to the dividing decimals, which is the one that gives people problems. So remember, this says 4 and 256 10,000ths divided by 7/10. Okay, so you're going to write this, it's going to be long division. Okay, so you're dividing 4 and 256 10,000ths by 0.7, 7/10. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you want to have a whole number here in your divisor. So you're going to move this decimal point however many times it takes to make a whole number, and this one moves once. So if you move this one once, you have to move this one once, okay? So now what we end up having is 7 divided into 42.56, right? So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that. Okay, so we're having 7 divided into 42.56, just to clean it up a little bit, right? So then you just divide. 7 into 42 goes 6 times. Again, I'm assuming you guys know division. Bring down the 5. 7 cannot go into 5, so we have a 0 here. Bring down the 6. 7 goes into 56 8 times. That gives us 0, so we know we're done. Last thing I have to do is take my decimal and move it straight up. So my answer is 6 8/8. Okay? Alright, here's my second one. 95 2/10 divided by 2 8/10. So we're going to do 2 8/10 is being divided by, or into 95 2/10. Okay, again, first thing is we want to move the decimal that's in the divisor until we have a whole number. So this one's going to move 1, this one's going to move 1. Okay, so now we're just dividing 28 into 952. Okay, so this is now 28, and this is 952. Okay, so 28 goes into 95 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay. Right? And 28 goes into 112 4 times. So we end up with our answer being 34, because we didn't have to add any more decimals to that. Okay, so 34. Beautiful. Okay. This one is 25 8/10 divided by 3. So that's going to look like this. Now on this one, there's no decimal in the divisor, so now we just divide like normal. So 3 goes into 25 8 times. All this is long division. I know you guys love long division. Okay, so the answer is 86, but I have to do one thing that I forgot to do. You got to put your decimal point up. So my answer is actually 8 6/10. Okay? All right, last one. 9 8/10 divided by 0.5, 5/10. So we've got 5/10 divided into 9 8/10. Okay? And remember, we're going to move this decimal over till you have a whole number. So you're going to move this one over. So I'll go ahead and rewrite that over here. So we have 5 being divided into 98. Okay? So 5 goes into 9 one time. That gives us 5. 5 goes into 48 9 times. Right, and then we have a remainder of 3. So we don't do remainders anymore, so in order to finish the division, we have to add our decimal point and a 0, bring that 0 down, and then 5 goes into 30 6 times. Okay, and then again you move your decimal point up, and we have got 19.56. I'm sorry, 19 6/10. Alright guys, like I said, this is just a review on multiplying, dividing decimals, just to come back and get some extra tips if you need it. If not, make sure you answer the summary question asking how is multiplying and dividing decimals different, because there is a little bit of a difference. Come into class tomorrow ready to go and put it to work, and have a good night, and we will see you in a bit. Bye-bye.